Hi, my name is Chandra. Welcome to my channel. It is autumn here right now, and today I am once again making a pumpkin baked good. This is going to be gluten-free pumpkin chocolate chip muffin. As I was getting ready to make these, I realized I didn't have any pumpkin spice made up, so first I'm going to do that. There are probably a million recipes for pumpkin spice seasoning on the internet, but I will link below the one that I used, and it's been just fine. I do always grate my nutmeg fresh, which is what I'm doing right now. This little nutmeg grater is pretty neat because it has a little storage compartment for the nutmeg you're currently using in the back of it. So in goes the nutmeg. I already had the cinnamon and the ginger in there, and now I will add allspice and cloves, and then I will inexpertly try to get this into the jar. So now on to the muffins. I'm going to put in this pumpkin puree, which I have from last year's pumpkins. To that I will add 3 eggs, and I'll beat it until it's pretty light and thick. However, I've made this, well, you'll see, but I made it twice, and the second time I didn't feel like going through a lot of effort because it was late at night, so I didn't do all the extra beating, and I didn't notice a difference. So I think in the future I would just mix it in until it was well combined. So the eggs, and then I will add sugar to that, mix that in, then oil. I use avocado oil, but any melted fat or liquid oil would work. Then our lovely pumpkin spice that we just made, and make sure all that is really well blended together, because although I'm not using a gluten flour in this, I am using cassava, and you don't want to over mix that. I think it maybe would become kind of gluey. But I love cassava flour. I make really great tortillas with cassava flour, and I think it's really, really nice as a substitute, pretty much a one-to-one substitute for wheat flour. So I will mix up the dry ingredients, which will be cassava flour, salt, and chocolate chips. I did forget the baking soda when I was making it the first time, which I realized as soon as I had portioned it and put it in the oven. So it was too late for me to put it all back in the bowl and add the baking soda. So you will see these first muffins go into the oven, but you will see the second muffins with the baking soda come out of the oven. And what happened with the first round is kind of what you would expect. They did not change in appearance at all. They did not rise. Nothing happened. They're still good. They're just very dense, but we've been eating them anyway. What you also might notice is that in between these 2 takes of muffins, I cleaned my oven. So it looks really good the second time. thing I wanted to show, and I'll put a split screen here. The left is the first batch and the right is the second batch. And I think you can see that the right-hand batch, the second one, is much more liquidy than the first, which is a little drier. And I liked the second one, the consistency better. And it was like that because my pumpkin purees were from different batches. So I think with that, if you have a drier pumpkin puree, which like a canned one would be drier, I would just add a little bit of water to get to that nicer consistency, a little bit more pourable almost. I will put a link to this recipe, which will be on my blog. But this is the first time I've made it, and it did come out really well. I'm going to save this recipe, and I made it up kind of as I went, and here we're seeing it happen. And fortunately or unfortunately, this is how I mostly bake. Not as so much with my artisan type bread that I've done many times the same way, because I think that varies from time to time, even if you are following the same exact recipe. So maybe it keeps it exciting enough for me. But with baked goods, like I said, I'll save this recipe, but I don't know if I'll ever make it again because I just love doing new things. So we'll see. You'll probably see many more first-time recipes here. Some will work, some will not. This was definitely a good one. We've been eating it and eating it. It's actually almost gone. And my son, a self-proclaimed pumpkin hater, likes these muffins and has had them many times on different days. So it wasn't even a fluke. I think the chocolate chips may help. Well, thanks for watching me make these pumpkin chocolate chip gluten-free muffins. There will be another new pumpkin video next week. I'm going to make an ice cream cake, and I actually have made this one before. It was a year ago, and it was so good, and it was dairy-free, and my husband said it didn't even taste like it was dairy-free. So come back next week to see that one. Thanks. Bye-bye.